This Sunday, easily the most anticipated WWE show of the year takes place, the Royal Rumble. And after 3 years of outstanding events, this year's edition has a lot to live up to. I'm Pommy Wrestling, and these are my predictions for the 5 announced matches. Let's start with the Women's Royal Rumble match, and get rid of all the no-hopers with 0 chances of actually winning, which include Liv Morgan, Tamina, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Peyton Royce, and Ruby Riott, as well as every Legend cameo and most NXT stars. Then, let's quickly go through the dark horses, which include the likes of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who WWE could easily push back to the singles division with a Rumble win. Bayley, who is no stranger to the title scene. Naomi, who seemed like she would receive a push last year before going MIA. Sonya Deville, whose new role as authority figure could affect the match. Io Shirai, whose days as champion might be numbered, and Raquel Gonzalez, who has beaten the likes of Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley in recent times. Now, it's time to focus on the top contenders who are most likely to win the whole thing. Starting with Charlotte Flair, who in the same vein as John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton should never be underestimated. Alexa Bliss, who after pinning Asuka on Raw, feels like she'll be champion sooner rather than later. Bianca Belair, who had an impressive performance last year and wouldn't feel out of place near the top title. And Rhea Ripley, who hasn't been announced yet, but after losing a last woman standing match, feels like she's done with NXT, is more than ready to move to the main roster, and even has pre-existing beef with Charlotte. My official pick is going to be Rhea Ripley, because a rematch between her and Charlotte seems like a no-brainer, especially with how little WWE has done with Asuka since SummerSlam. However, I'd also be happy with Bianca Belair winning, or even Alexa Bliss, as long as it's not Charlotte again. Moving on, we have Drew McIntyre vs Goldberg for the WWE title. There is not much to say about this feud, since it randomly started on Legends Night with a nonsensical promo. Drew missed 2 weeks due to COVID, and their segment on the Go Home show was very basic. If history tells us anything, Goldberg will win the belt and be inserted into a marquee match at Mania. But for once, I'll be positive and bet on Drew McIntyre, who deserves to go to Mania as champion, especially after his run in 2020. Then, Asuka and Charlotte Flair will defend the women's tag titles against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. I genuinely don't know why this match was booked. Charlotte has been feuding with Lacey Evans, Asuka has been feuding with Alexa Bliss, and Jax and Baszler are feuding with Royce and Brooke. And with how little focus has been given to the tag titles, I don't care who wins. So, I'll just hope Asuka and Charlotte retain, to then lose the titles to whoever wins the Women's Dusty Rhodes Classic. After that, we've got Roman Reigns vs Kevin Owens in a last man standing match for the Universal title. In the past month, this rivalry took a weird direction with the whole Roman vs Adam Pearce and Roman vs Nakamura teases, before just settling back to Roman vs KO again. However, the rivalry has been more than strong enough to overcome a wonky setup and still be the most exciting non-Rumble match. The Tribal Chief story has been amazing, and the past 2 months of Roman vs KO has been some of the most consistently entertaining television in WWE in a long while. As for the winner, KO has been doing a fantastic job, but Roman is on another level right now and absolutely has to make it to Mania as champion. And finally, we have the Men's Royal Rumble match. First, let's say bye to the rest of the no-hopers, which include The Miz, Otis, Jey Uso, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, and Mustafa Ali, as well as any Legend appearance and most NXT cameos. Then we have the Dark Horses, which include AJ Styles, who's just been in the title scene, Keith Lee, who just lost a title match but still feels like a legit contender, Big E and Bobby Lashley, who feel like realistic world title contenders despite being mid-card champions, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, who have suddenly started receiving singles pushes in recent weeks, Randy Orton and the Fiend's Bray Wyatt, who I expect to face off during the Rumble but are still credible title contenders, Damian Priest, because I want to mention at least one NXT guy, he was supposed to debut on the main roster this year, and Jinder Mahal, because he's just come back and after 2017, I think WWE is capable of anything in the name of their Indian expansion. Now, among the genuine contenders, we have Daniel Bryan, who is yet to fully resolve his issues with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Edge, who just announced he's back and is more than capable of having a marquee match at Mania. Sheamus, whose story with Drew McIntyre is not over yet, and at this point wouldn't feel out of place at WrestleMania. And Brock Lesnar, who I don't want to see win, but nobody in WWE is probably a candidate to face either Drew or Goldberg at Mania. I don't feel particularly confident about any of these options, but I think Daniel Bryan winning the Rumble is probably the safest pick. And with how good the Tribal Chief story has been, Bryan vs Roman on the road to WrestleMania could be another smash hit of a rivalry. Before I leave, I'll go through a few matches that as of this recording have yet to be confirmed for the pay-per-view, but could still be added at the last minute. Sasha Banks vs Carmella for the SmackDown Women's title. This rivalry has been going on for a while and has given us a couple of good segments and matches. It's weird the match is not officially confirmed for the Rumble, but even if it was, I highly doubt Sasha would drop the belt. I expect her to make it to Mania as champion. Big E vs Sami Zayn vs Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental title. They've all been feuding for the past month, and while this should be fun, I don't think Big E will drop the belt. Bobby Lashley vs Riddle for the United States title. Riddle has been feuding with the Hurt Business for months now, and just earned a title match on this week's Raw. Assuming it takes place at the Rumble, I don't expect Riddle to come out victorious. Do you agree with my choices? Leave a comment down below with your predictions for the Royal Rumble. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter @PommyWrestling for any update. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, see ya!